Our regularly scheduled program, Benny Hinn Raises the Titanic, will not be seen tonight, so that we may bring you this instead.
Milestones of TV. 1945, TV is first introduced to the masses at a gimbal store in New York City. In 1948, Ed Sullivan, Burns and Allen, and Milton Berle all debut shows on TV. 1951, I Love Lucy premieres. The Tonight Show broadcasts its first show in 1954. In 1964, 73 million viewers watched the Beatles on The Ed Sullivan Show. In 1980, MTV premiered and actually played music videos. In 1992, Johnny Carson retires from The Tonight Show. David Letterman jumps ship to CBS 1 year later. 1998, Seinfeld, America's favorite comedy, ends its successful run, and TV debuts on TWC.
It's after midnight in Orlando and some parts of unincorporated Orange County, and you're watching TV. I'm Bo the Big Man of the Monsters of the Midday on Real Radio 104.1, and we'll be back in a bit. But first, here's the host of TV and a man whose opinions are not necessarily those of Time Warner Communications, Johnny!
Hey, thank you, Big Man. Russ, Bo, and Dirty Jim and the entire staff of the Monsters of the Midday will be coming back in just a little bit here on TV. Welcome, I am Johnny, and in case you're wondering, yes, that was me in those Surge commercials. Anyway, what is TV, you're probably asking yourself right now? Well, it's the thing that you're watching this program on, and it's the program that you're watching on the thing that you're watching it on. Sufficiently confused? Good, then you're in the right frame of mind to watch this program. We're a look at the weird and wonderful, the wacky stuff that's happening around the area. From the absurd in Apopka to the zany in Zellwood and nearly everything in between, you'll see it here on TV. Plus, we're going to give you the opportunity to be a part of TV. We'll tell you more about that. If you'd like to kind of get in on it before we tell you about it, you can visit our website at www.weebtv.com/TV. It's right down there. You can just write that down. Or you can email us at tv@weebtv.com. Hey, TV is going to be your show. We're going to be around hopefully for quite a while, and we want you involved. If it's funny, we'll put it on the air. If it's not funny, well, we might still put it on the air, but it just won't get repeated and laughed at quite as much. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at what you can expect on TV.
At TV, we don't take ourselves too seriously, and you shouldn't either. In addition to our offbeat take on life in Central Florida, you'll also see a few regular features, including Business Unusual, where we check out unique stores and bizarre businesses. The ITV investigative team is hardly working for you, and is the closest thing you'll find anything serious on this show. Local bands stop by to play and talk about what's happening in the Garage Band segment. And speaking of music, get down on what's up with Orlando's internationally recognized electronic music scene on Rave Reviews. We'll look at the news on a segment we call, strangely enough, The News. And starting on our next show, a real comedy troupe will provide professional comic relief to the sophomoric bullshit that we're doing. We can't tell you about them yet, but once you meet them, you're bound to love them. So get to know them on our next show. Add to that the stuff that you send in to us, stuff we steal from someone else, and liberal amounts of Prozac from our writers, and you'll get a show that's going to piss some people off, but hopefully entertain a lot more.
Wow, that looks like that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as we're going to enjoy bringing it to you. Let's get things started with our first little tidbit of zaniness. I'm not sure if you're like me, but I get so damned much junk mail. And most of it's not funny and ends up getting tossed away. I mean, you can only get low interest rate mortgages for so often, or credit cards at 0.1% interest and all that kind of junk. But there's actually some funny stuff that came in the mail, and we got it right here. First show, and we've already got stuff in the mail. Boy, is that slick or what. Let's go to our first thing right here. This came from one of those coupon catalogs that they send in the mail every so often from a local heating and air conditioning company. And look down there at the bottom. The free energy evaluation, $150 with coupon. I wonder what the price is without the coupon. Kind of pricey there, guys. Next item up for bids, right here in the corner. Check this out. This is just too weird. It's called Toilet Golf. It says you can practice your putting on the potty, poop, piddle, and putt all at the same time. Look at this guy here. He's just too weird. It looks like a putz practicing his putts. But anyway, moving right along. Something else that's available here. Check this out. Do we really need this? I'm not sure if maybe Monica Lewinsky hasn't inspired this to some extent. It's called the Personal Truth Machine. Now you can find out if the newscasters, politicians, your family, anyone is lying. It's got these little LEDs that you can see there. And green light means that they're telling the truth. Red light means that they're lying. Yellow means that I guess it could be Bill Clinton all over again. It says here that you can even test TV personalities. We don't want to even talk about that. If you don't have the balls to find out if I'm telling you the truth, just come up and ask me. And speaking, if you don't have the balls, they're on sale. Chinese balls on sale, $10 off. Just thought you'd like to know. And our last item tonight, another piece out of the catalog. Take a look at this. It's the Bikini Universal Remote. It says that you can turn on more than just your TV. The bikini top flips up and your channel selection buttons are underneath. I'm not going to say anything, but it really does give new meaning to the term boob tube. That's it for the mailbag for this week. If you've got something weird and interesting that's come in your mail, send it to us at TV, P.O. Box 607-261, Orlando 32860.
Well, like it or not, we live in a world made famous by this guy. I mean the mouse, not the guy in the crosswalk, although he does kind of walk like Donald Duck. In this week's A to Z, we explore the wonderful world of worlds and discover that while it may be a small world, there sure are a lot of different worlds out there after all.
If you've got a funny video, we'd love to see it. Send it in to us here at TV, Box 607-261, Orlando, Florida 32860. We've got a lot more to come on TV.
In our group of guys, who is shooting blanks? There you go.
Ladies, line to the right, please.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I already know more about Real Radio's Monsters of the Midday than I need to. Scarily enough, we'll find out even more about them. You'll even find out if scary's a word when you watch more TV. TV is not being brought to you tonight by Dong, a supermarket.
Although the GSXR 750 just won back-to-back AMA Supersport championships, and the GSXR 600 had the most AMA 600 Supersport victories, we weren't satisfied. We made over 20 major improvements to the 600 and gave the 750 electronic fuel injection. Now even its shadow can't keep up. The GSXR 600 and the GSXR 750 from Suzuki.
Cycle Rider Suzuki with two convenient locations, Orlando and Longwood.
Hey, this is Russ Rollins, and you're watching TV, dummy.
Hi, welcome back to TV. I'm your host, Johnny. It's our very first show, and we've still got that new show smell.
Real Radio 104.1.
Real Radio 104.1, Monsters of the Midday. I'm Russ, that's Bo. Over there, Dirty Jim.
Halloween has come and gone, but these monsters linger year-round. And just like Frankenstein, these monsters didn't turn out quite the way their creator had originally planned.
Found out for $100 you could talk about whatever you want to talk about for 1 hour on Saturday mornings.
So now I know Well, we could BS our way through that through an hour of programming every day and make some money. He goes, you think so?
And it was to advertise my business, but it ended up being something totally different.
Next thing I know, we were doing a show on the weekends.
From these humble beginnings, Russ and Bo started assembling their monsters.
Dirty Jim begged Russ for months until Russ couldn't take it anymore.
You know, Russ and Bo, you can't spell Russ and Bo without Dirty Jim.
Jeff and I used to get drunk together on Friday nights, so I had to bring him in on a Saturday morning one time.
This is Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson with another edition of Correct Me If I'm Wrong.
Jeff brought us Bubba.
I'm Savannah. How you been?
That's why they call her sexy.
Very nice.
Savannah wanted to be Miss Russ and Bo. She got third place, but she was so priceless we couldn't lose her.
There is something very wrong with that show.
The only thing that would be phased when we try to pretend that Dirty Jim is really not annoying.
Bye. See you later, semen dumpster.
That's horrible.
Sometimes there's days where he tries to be annoying. Sometimes there's days where he's just annoying.
I enjoy getting Bo mad. Probably more than sex, not as much as golf.
As much as I love him is as much as I hate him.
Is that why he's in the other room?
Exactly.
I'm just trying to get you a little riled up, make you think things a little differently, and kind of do it that way.
Since that camera got here, Dirty Jim's done everything he's supposed to do every day, and he's done it wonderfully. So we need to get a camera every day on Dirty
I don't know
Jim.
what the hell you're talking about. There's nothing new. Back when we were at nights, it used to be a lot more like naked chicks and stuff. But when we moved to middays, it kind of like evened out a little bit.
Besides the wild antics in the studio, the fun often spills out into the streets as well.
It does sound like,
It does sound
it sounds like faggot, and bite my butt.
Despite all the clowning around, there is one thing that all of the monsters take very seriously.
Child abuse, and every year we do the Ursula Sunshine Assad thing.
That was something I took to heart. I mean, I really did. That just meant a lot to me.
No other radio program has ever passed a law before. We're the first to ever do it. That's a pretty big deal.
Russ hopes to syndicate the show and let the monsters invade the rest of the country. The show is hot now, but how long can this baby fly?
I hope for about 50, 60 years. And like Russ said, at least still 3.
We've had offers to move out of town and probably make more money, but our equity's in this market. People know us in this market. We don't want to leave Orlando. This is where we started. This is where we finish.
Okay, now it's time to play Final TV. Our first question is for Bo.
Oh, Mrs. Brady by far. Why? Because, man, she had to deal with Jan and all that bickering and bitching between her and all the other rest of them. Mrs. Brady's better than Mrs. Partridge every day of the week.
The next question is for Dirty Jim.
I got to give it to Roscoe simply because I think he could take a punch. And I don't think Fife could take many punches. I mean, his effing spine is almost in his stomach. He's so damn skinny.
Our 25-point bonus question for Russ and Dirty Jim.
Big nuts. Huge nuts.
I drunk fruit.
Why is that?
Because dropping your nuts hurts like a bitch.
I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for the weekend. I'm gonna cook me a big old hog. Woo! Ready for the weekend.
If you'd like to find out more about Real Radio and the Monsters of the Midday, you can check out their website at www.wtks.com. Hey, don't touch that dial. The party's just beginning. We'll introduce you to DJ Sandy and his dental work on Rave Reviews when you watch more TV.
Suzuki has completely restyled the Katana 600 and 750, from their dual halogen headlights to their 4-in-1 stainless steel exhausts.
Same time tomorrow? Yeah.
So now they're just as impressive on the outside as they've always been on the inside.
Cycle Rider Suzuki with 2 convenient locations, Orlando and Longwood.
Welcome back to TV. More and more people are getting more and more places pierced.
What you see here on my face and genitals. Tongue, labret, ears, stretchings, nipples, navel, genitals. I've had my nipples pierced 17 times.
Just the tongue. I did the nipples a couple times. They didn't really take.
And if you've been downtown lately, you've undoubtedly noticed that you can hardly turn around without running into a place that wants to poke you. Over a dozen at last count. So, are there enough unpoked places to support all these poking places?
Definitely, because, I mean, you go one place, it's cheaper than another.
It's making it more mainstream. It shows people there's a lot of options to do something like that. But it's good to have other competition, I guess. Gives it kind of more of a variety.
A lot of people are just getting a piercing kit and, starting to poke holes in people.
Some people just don't care. They're in it for the money and they're not interested in the quality of the piercing, what it looks like after it's healed.
You have to kind of be careful what you do if you let pierce you. Check out the studio first, make sure there's an autoclave, talk to the piercers, find out how long they've been doing it, what kind of experience they have.
Okay, but how bad does this stuff hurt?
I've got 8 genital piercings, and I'd rather get another one than get through another nipple piercing. Worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Definitely do it again.
And what about the future?
In a few months, we're gonna pierce my chest so that I'm able to hang from flesh hooks.
Actually, I meant the future of the piercing industry.
It goes in spurts. One day, it's gonna drop back down and we're all gonna be starving again.
I really get into is intelligent break stuff, electro and break beat, a lot of European breaks. Europe right now is finally starting to catch on that the funky stuff is fun, especially with the young crowds that are out there liking it. I still like really good progressive house. Everywhere kind of got in a little bit of a lull, so what I'm trying to do is just play a lot of fun stuff, instead of, you can't get too deep, and especially here in Orlando now that we have to shut down at 3, it's more about, you got to go back to being a DJ and not a teacher. Locally, it would obviously have to be, Andy Hughes, because best friend, pretty much wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing anything. I played Manic, I'm Coming Hardcore last night. The Hyperon Experience, Death in the Family, still play that. Oh man, tons of them. I mean, I'll just mix. Michael Jackson, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Music's half, Flash is half. People get tired of seeing bald-headed old DJs playing the same music, and especially with the young kids, they want to see fun stuff. You're paid to make people dance, and you can sit there and play stuff all day long that no one's ever heard of and go, ooh, look, but people get tired of paying money and not being able to have a good time, and then they'll stop coming out. I'm doing a couple record projects with Magic Mike. Hopefully, if everything goes right, I'll be doing some remix work for the Backstreet Boys. Some stuff like that. We're right now trying to get all the negotiations between some big labels to sign with that. I kind of really want to get to where the DJing becomes secondary. I really want to get into videos and tours. I want to, do the open for live bands, and then finally get their own PA going. Lately, because everything's been so unorganized around the country, I think a lot of the travel, real distance stuff is not really been too organized. But especially here in the Southeast, there's been some really good parties. Party on, baby, doing it Orlando style.
Well, we just met him on tape. Here he is joining us in person. It's DJ Sandy. Welcome to TV.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. We're happy to announce that Sandy will be joining us on each and every show. He's the permanent host of the Rave Reviews segment.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Now, be afraid, be very afraid. What do we have coming up on the next show?
We're going to interview one of my really good friends, Andy Hughes, who's been here for a long time. It's going to be really cool.
Great. And since we did your story, there's been a couple of new clubs that have opened up in town, and there's been some other changes in the works. What's the state of the scene in the music scene in Orlando as we stand now?
Well, I think everybody's getting ready for the holiday season. The new clubs open are allowing more spots for international talent to come in, and they're looking at changing the drinking times to 3 and staying open to 4. So it looks like everything's looking good for the winter.
Great, we'll make a city out of this place yet. All right. Well, it looks like we have an email coming in already. By the way, you can email us at tv@weebtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. And Daphne is our very first person to send us some email. She's here in downtown Orlando, and she says, "Dear TV, I just wanted to let you know that your show really kicks ass." Well, thank you, Daphne. So do you. Sandy is da bomb. That's a compliment, I guess. Da boom, da bomb. Hey, Sandy, how about giving Geek Boy a makeover so that he looks cool like you? I'm beginning to like Daphne a little bit less, but what do you think?
Daphne, go. No problem.
Okay, I have to do the news here first, so I'll go back to the studio. We'll do the news. When I come back, you can go Jenny Jones wild, make me over any way you want, do whatever you want. The news is next. Don't go away.
Although the GSX-R 750 just won back-to-back AMA Supersport championships, and the GSX-R 600 had the most AMA 600 Supersport victories, we weren't satisfied. We made over 20 major improvements to the 600 and gave the 750 electronic fuel injection. Now even its shadow can't keep up. The GSX-R 600 and the GSX-R 750 from Suzuki.
Cycle Rider Suzuki with 2 convenient locations, Orlando and Longwood.
The news is not being brought to you tonight by Big Woody's Fence. If you'd like to be a real sponsor of TV, we'd love to have you. Please call, write, or email us. From the Earth to the Moon, from Mars to Uranus, this is TV News. Good evening. Welcome to the news. By the way, the music for our newscast open today is from Swedish supergroup Ace of Base. They're not the original Swedish supergroup. That, of course, was Hey, Daily Double Time. All right. What was the secret word? Swedish supergroups. All right. Now, if I can answer a question on a Swedish supergroup, I could win a bonus 500 points, and I'll pass the savings on to you. Here's our question for today. How did ABBA choose their name? Actually, I know the answer to this one. It's quite interesting, actually. The letters ABBA stand for the first letter of the first name of each of the 4 group members' names. So I believe, let's see, there was Agnathia, Benny, Bjorn, and Frida. Of course, that would have spelled ABF, so Frida used her full name, which was Anna Frida, and that became ABBA. So there you have it. 500 bonus points. All right, let's get on with the news. Now, here's tonight's top stories. With the growing number of empty buildings in the downtown area, the mayor has implemented a new plan to take care of the problem of vacant storefronts. The new redevelopment plan calls for all empty buildings to be razed. The plan has already been implemented along 2 blocks on Church Street, and more redevelopment is planned for other areas throughout the city, especially on the other side of I-4. City Hall looked more like a high school pep rally recently when the city of Orlando presented the Backstreet Boys with the key to the city. That reminds me, it's time to get the locks changed. Hundreds of teenagers were screaming as the objects of their desire appeared. I mean the Backstreet Boys, not the city council. You know, I haven't seen that many teenage girls in one spot since Woody Allen and Jerry Seinfeld were double dating. Meanwhile, in Maryland, 2 unarmed bandits have been absconding with hairdressers' scissors and clippers. They've gotten away with almost $3 grand worth of the beauty supplies so far from at least 5 Sally beauty supply stores up in the Annapolis area. In all the heists, one of the bandits pulls a trash bag. Now, I don't know if someone pulled a trash bag on me, I'd be awfully scared too. So then they just ask for the scissors and the clippers, and each one of those are valued at between $55 and $100. They don't ask for any cash, it's just the hairdressing supplies that they're looking for. There are no suspects in custody. Police are still combing the area. I'm sorry. I really am sorry for that one. Remember the Cadillac Ranch? That's that pop art Stonehenge out in Texas that's made up of 10 Cadillacs half buried in the ground. Well, the creator of that fine piece of art, his name is Stanley Marsh. He has plans for more art in the prairies west of Amarillo, Texas. His idea this time is to erect a series of 50-foot-high structures that he describes as giant hula hoops on a stem with water running through them. He's calling it his Rainbow Farm, and he plans on getting it started sometime before the end of this year. 50-foot tall rainbows, huh? What's Pat Robertson going to have to say about this one? Speaking of problematic snakes, Bill Clinton's extramarital affairs are causing scandal here in this country, but in Brazil are the cause for admiration, at least for some of the people. The macho movement of southeastern Brazil named Bill Clinton their Macho of the Year. Now, this is the first time that a non-Brazilian resident has ever won that prestigious award. The group plans to send the president a plaque through the Brazilian embassy in Washington. Now, I'm sure if they'd send one of their interns over with the plaque, that the president would be more than willing to accept it.
Works for me.
Well, fortunately, the elections are over with for another year, but we still have one exit poll to report to you. In a TV news poll, we asked 612 Gibbons monkeys what they look for in members of the opposite sex, and the results weren't that surprising. Of the respondents, 9% said hair first attracts them, 16% said eyes, 24% said a sense of humor, and 49% said a puffy, bright red ass is what first attracts them to a member of the opposite sex.
Hello? I'm still waiting for you down here. Don't think you're getting away from this.
Yeah, I'll be there as soon as the news is done. Keep your pants on, okay?
Come on, let's go.
Turning to weather now, here's a look at our satellite photo. That really is a nice-looking satellite, isn't it? In sports, baseball season is over. Hockey and football are going on strong. Basketball, who gives a rat's ass? We have breaking news just into the TV newsroom. And finally, tonight, a man is suing a topless club in New York City because they wouldn't let him handle the object of his desire. The man was blocked by bouncers at Howard Stern's favorite nightclub, Scores, when he tried to grab a handful of what the club is best known for. The man says that he was told that he doesn't spend enough money at the club, and that's why he was banned. A spokesman for Scores says that he can't comment on the lawsuit, but that he can understand why the guy wants to get his hands all over his favorite little dish. Their hot little items are known as the best after-work spread in the world. By the way, we aren't talking about the dancers. The object of the man's desires, the reason that he was kicked out of the club, the thing that he wanted to get to more than anything else, was the seafood buffet. Now, here's your opportunity to make up a joke of your own using topless dancers and seafood buffet. You go ahead, I'll wait. That's a good one. The guy over in Goldenrod came up with a real good one. You should send that one in to us. And you should send in your stuff, too, to TV Box 607 261, Orlando, Florida, 32860. If there's something funny that you see, if you've got a little video piece that you make on your own camcorder, anything like that, please send it in to us, and we might put it here on TV. Well, that's about all that we have time for tonight. We'd like to thank you for joining us on our inaugural broadcast of TV. And join us again next time. What? Oh, that's right, that email thing. Could you hand me that email? I don't think we're going to have time for that, but what was that girl's name that wanted the makeover? Here, hand me that email. What?
Don't even think you're pussing out on this, man. You're coming with me.
But we don't have enough time. We're running really, but
we
don't have. Really don't have. Help me! Is this really happening?
There's some more grain for you.
Oh, thank you. Could I get my pubic hair done next? Hey, what do you think? Well, here we are. The dye took, and I'd like to thank you for everything tonight.
Hey, it's no problem. My pleasure.
And I'd like to thank Daphne for that wonderful idea. Daphne, no more email from you, but anyone else, please feel free to send us email at tv@weebtv.com or check out the website at www.weebtv.com/TV. Next time on the show, your Rave Reviews feature will be on?
My good buddy Andy Hughes.
All right. Great, join us for that, and we hope that you'll join us next time. We hope you enjoyed our very first show, and that you'll join us for many more to come. So, thanks for watching TV, and keep watching TV. So, now that we kind of look alike, could I maybe like hang with you and be your bud?
Don't push your luck.
Can't watch anymore. This is